I am recording a little teaser about what we're going to be doing for the next bit of lesson performances and reflection. So, as many of you have already signed up for your time that you're going to be presenting your lessons. We're going to be doing 3 next week. You have those times when it starts and when it ends. You are expected to follow the timing. So that means you really need to make sure your lesson is down to the minute, because when that time is, the bell is going to go off just like a regular class. The bell will also start just like a regular class. So make sure you have all your handouts, everything that you need ready to go, and that you've rehearsed. So here's how this lesson performance will go. Like I said, this is worth 15% of your final grade. It'll be 100 points that I'll be grading it out of, but this whole assignment is 15%. So just keep that in mind so that you're planning accordingly. The very first thing is that your lesson performance will be graded on this rubric. So I want to kind of just walk through the rubric so you're clear on what that looks like. The first is adherence to educational philosophy. So this is really critical. One of your 3 lessons, you need to pick which one you're going to do, and you need to be thoughtful and go back and edit if need be to make sure it is very crystal clear that what your educational philosophy is, whether it's anti-racist, culturally relevant, or barrio pedagogy. I'm putting those together because they are kind of similar. Or anti-oppressive. With that, I'm thinking Kumashiro and Paulo Freire. So really make sure that all of your curriculum, so the content choices and your pedagogical choices, how you set up your lesson, imbue that philosophical bent. So that's when, if you're going to these 2 here, the proficient and exceeds expectations, I should be able to view your lesson plan. Everyone in the room should be able to view your lesson plan and be able to come up with the same philosophical bent. So be clear on that. That is important. The second one is designing coherent instruction. Again, you have that standard that you identified from the standards document, and you are to make sure that every activity is geared towards that content objective. So I'm going to be looking to make sure there is alignment there so that everything is building towards that particular objective, what you want to do. Spend some time here. So again, if you're looking at proficient, most of the learning activities are aligned with the instructional outcomes and follow an organized progression suitable to groups of students. All right, so it has to make sense as to what you do first, what you do second, and so forth. That's why following either one of those 2 lesson plan formats is critical. So make sure you're using those formats if you haven't been already, and making sure it's very transparent to me when I look at the lesson plan that you're following that. Make sure you have reasonable time allocations. This is going to be tricky because you don't have much time, and that you are reflecting high expectations. So don't have the information be too dumbed down or too sophisticated. So you have to hit that right sweet spot. The next is organization. This is where your time is going to really matter. So if you spend too much time on your activities and you don't get to your closure, that's going to influence you. That will show that's inefficient planning. So make sure that you have all of your materials ready to go, that you have rehearsed what you're going to say, because how you use time will matter in the end. Appropriate, and these 2 are the appropriate knowledge of varied perspectives. So no matter all of those, I want to make sure that you're thinking about you're displaying knowledge and acceptance regarding various perspectives, voices in and out of the content area. So that will be also in your lesson plan, but then also how you are relating to us as students will be important. And then appropriate knowledge of students' cultural backgrounds. You wrote these lesson plans in isolation, but now you have actual real students. I'm going to ask that every person in the class is going to play the well-behaved student of that age group. So really make sure that you're thinking about that as well, that we are now your students, and you might need to shift your lesson accordingly. So this is how I will be kind of assessing your lesson. So be thoughtful of that when you're doing your last minute bits of planning. The second part that will be due the day after that you give the lesson is your reflection. You will be creating a Google Doc, if you've not done so already, with your lesson plan in it. And then you're going to be using the comment feature to do 2 things. All right. The first thing is you're going to comment and add at least 5 comments. Some of you will have more. Reflecting on how you implemented your lesson. So you're really thinking deeply about the decisions that you made in your lesson and how those flushed out for you when you actually did them. So you're going to think deeply about what went well, what tanked, what you would do differently next time. You need to have at least 5 that should have about 100 words explaining that. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to copy and paste this rubric here into the bottom of your lesson plan. Okay, you are then going to give yourself a ranking. So you're going to go ahead and just highlight what you want to do and color it in so that I know where you think you fall. And then you're going to go back into your lesson and add more comments, as many as you needed to justify how you were assessing yourself, following this template here. So you're going to give me the criterion and then the ranking of what you put yourself, and then you're going to add your rationale here to use words and phrases that really show that you understand not only the rubric, but the spirit of the rubric and how you enacted it. Okay, so in particular with that first one, of adherence to educational philosophy, I don't want just general statements. I want to see that you are clearly being thoughtful of what philosophical bent you're adopting here. So this is what we are going to be doing for this assignment. So if you have questions, just comment below and I will get back to you as soon as possible. That way everyone can see what those comments are. Or if you need to, you can text me. Again, I have office hours on Thursday. If you need to set up an appointment with me, I'm able to do that. If you want to run through things, that's fine. But be prepared. This is how you're going to be assessed. Thanks, guys. And again, I'm sorry about canceling class, but it was great to be with my daughter.